Hello? Hey. Aw. Look at you. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to explain this, but I am you, but I'm not you. And the reason why you can't speak back because I'm you. But I'm not you at the same time. In simple terms, I am future you. Yeah. And I'm really not good at time things, like explaining to you the time things. But in case I say something that is about the future, it will just be deleted by the machine. So don't worry. I am going to stick to not deleting my message, but I'm speaking to you from the future. 2025. I know you have like a lot of questions to ask, and I am going to try to answer them. I'm going to try to answer them because I have lived in 2025, but you had to go through whatever you had to go through so that you can hear me. So you couldn't hear me before. But yeah, I'm making a phone call, and this one is a little bit personal. Just for you. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of how far you have come, and I think it has made me nervous because the past few days, I did the walking back and forth because I was going to talk to you. And I know you're so excited. You're like, what is she going to tell me? What is she going to tell me? Well, number one, I'm really, really proud of you. You have come this far. And I promise not to cry or get emotional because I don't know, I have a lot to tell you at the same time. So where should I start? How does it feel? I know you can't reply to me, but I know how it feels like you are outgrowing so many things, especially like everything. I remember 2025. Oh, 2025. 2025. That has been a year. That has been a year for you. I remember. That's the year you came into the future. That's the year you came into the future. Oh, I remember those days. I remember those days and how hard it was for you. I know you're going to be like, it wasn't hard, but I remember when you came into the future. 2025 was the time you reached the future. Oh, I remember your teammates. How are those guys? I remember like we really didn't expect the future to be the way it was. Somehow we expected the flowers and the parade and everything, and it wasn't like that. I know, but I remember the time when we went into the future and no one could know that we have arrived. Like, everything stayed the same. I know, like, the time thing, as I said, I do not know how to explain it, but I remember 2025, you reached the future, and then the future featured. And it was. I think. Okay. When I look at 2025, it was the year that we all reached the future, the four of us, and I remember we were so excited. We were like, we are in the future. We are in the future. We are outside. We are outside. And no one bothered. Like, everyone was doing their own thing, and somehow, like, everyone was like, I think all of us expected expected the parade, the flowers, like, oh, you guys, you've worked so hard and you've reached here, so you you can have this and that, and we didn't have that. I know I'm laughing because the future was very fast. I don't know how to even explain it. The future was very fast, and yeah, we were fast together. We first stayed together, just like the way you go to a foreign country. You guys are friends in the beginning. Okay, it's not that we are enemies, but you were friends in the beginning, and then somehow life happens and you separate, you go in different places, and everyone's lives takes a different time. So it's the future wasn't easy. It was hard. I wouldn't say like hard, but it was not what everyone expected. But I feel like everyone got back to their feet and they maneuvered. And I'm talking to you right now. You're listening to this message because definitely you have maneuvered. And what else was in 2025? 2025 was the unique. I remember. Yeah, I remember. 2025 had that unique December. I know why people want to get married in December. It's a very beautiful month, and I got to enjoy it. By the way, I got to enjoy it in 2025. I remember there were times whereby I would stop everything and just feel the day and just be in the moment and enjoy it. Yeah, December had the uniqueness. It had the uniqueness. It started with the very, very hot sun, and then it transitioned into the rain. And it's so interesting that the sun wasn't very, very hot. The sun used to shine, but it wasn't very. Oh my God, December! I remember the December. The December, it was very calm. I don't know how to even describe it. It was that. If I was to say, December is a very calm month. If I was to just describe December, he doesn't like a lot of attention, but his presence declares respect, and it's everything is very, very subtle. Okay, it's not like very, very subtle, but it doesn't happen like, okay, November had the dramaticness to it. December didn't have drama to it. December was calm. Everything happened calmly. Even the way it used to rain. It never used to rain like boo, 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 boo. No, it would start. It had the gradual beat to it. Yeah, the birds, of course, the birds were coming back by December. It's like an anticipation of the new coming, or of the new cycle, because I remember 2025 December was the time. It was a month of renewal, a month of breaking a cycle and starting a new cycle, and you could literally feel it. The moon was also beautiful. Like sometimes it used to be so close, and it was like, it was half, then it went to the different parts of the moon, and I remember that quote of, you should take a leaf from the moon. Yeah, like throughout the month or throughout different times, you get to see it half full or like really, really like coated to it, but it's still whole. And I think every time I look at the moon, I'm reminded of that yes, you may not see the other part of it, but it's still whole. And understanding different things about how the moon rotates and everything. And December had a very what would I say? Okay, I call it intimate Christmas. It was different from the other Christmases I have attended before. Maybe because I was in the future. But I remember it had a very intimate Christmas, and it was the first Christmas whereby I think, I don't know, but it was very intimate. I remember there was an election coming up in the next month in January, and somehow the people do want to celebrate. I don't know if they do want to celebrate or something, but it was so intimate for me. And I got to see, I remember the Christmas, I got to see what's really happening, the meaning of cycles, and I could see, especially like from family, you could see the people we have lost. In fact, that's the first Christmas. Okay, like all the other Christmases, it was there, but that was the first Christmas I really felt like an orphan. I don't know how to even describe it, but I really felt it. Like it was intimate. It was an intimate Christmas. You could get to see my nephews had all grown up. Now they're talking about girlfriends, and my aunties, you could see they've grown old. Then you could see even us that time. It was different. I didn't take pictures, interestingly, because I wanted to hold the memory. I wanted to be able to hold that memory. But I remember it was a great day, but it gave off these vintage vibes. It really gave off vintage vibes. And as I'm sitting there and I'm observing and taking it all in, I could see the little plants around my auntie's place, and the decor. It was really vintage. It wasn't the the normal way people decorate the houses. And I remember that time I was like, oh, okay, we have forgotten this way of, using plants, because she had plants. Somehow we have gotten into the plastic things, and it was a very beautiful reminder of the beauty in even just natural plants that we had forgotten, I feel like, as a generation. But it was a very intimate Christmas for me. I got to listen to the kids' laughter. They were not like really small kids. All the kids were like grown up. Okay, yeah. There was a small kid. There was my nephew who was screaming. He declared that I'm already here. Like, in case you guys don't know, I'm here. I'm here. So he was screaming on top of his voice and somehow bullying his parents into whatever he wanted. And the food was amazing. The food was amazing on that day. What was I doing? I think you remember what I was doing. I was in a corner just seated and observing and taking everything in. And I remember I recorded a video because the weather was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. It was perfect. I don't know how to even say it. It was perfect for that day. It was intimate, and it needed an intimate weather, which was, if I remember, because I cannot tell you about the future. I have to use the past in a way so that I can deliver the message that I have to deliver to you. But I think I'm going to get one of those things, and I'm able to deliver something. But 2025 is a year of rebirth. Yeah, it was a year of rebirth. It was, and especially December, whereby I remember you are letting go of the old version, and you're embracing the new you. And I am really proud of you and how far you've come. And I know, like, sometimes you can look at the old you and crucify her. Please handle her with grace, because it's more like a computer that didn't have the latest operating system, and it navigated everything. So yes, it was a computer, so it was smart, but it would make really foolish mistakes, and it's not because it wasn't smart. So please do not crucify her. Do not put her on trials like, oh, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. No, she had to be who she had to be to bring you to why you have to be. Come on, she brought you to the future. So she was really capable of doing a lot. I know she cannot take you further, and I know that transition has been very hard for you, letting her go. And I think people who are listening into the phone call, because they're going to record it, they're like, okay, what do you mean version? First you started with you. I think it's like, okay, to help you understand it, it's more of like updating a software. I think updating is different, but okay, let's just use that, like updating. Like, every computer or every phone has an update. They tell you, like, okay, there is an update that has come up, so you need to update the system. And it's very hard because the version you had has brought you so far. especially for the guys who are using softwares. If I was to bring it in the way of a software, because I'm an animator at the end of the day. So you can be using a software to do so many things and it has brought you so far. But you need to update the software because there are some new things that really help you with easing your work. And I know, like, I'm talking about softwares. I'm thinking about softwares, but AI is still a thing. That's what I've told you. When I say something about the future, the message will just be deleted. So I have to say something about the past so that I'm able to translate something to you. But it's more like that. And okay, let me describe it in the simplest, because I think the software can be confusing. But the simplest is like, when something is growing, it has to grow. It grows forward. It doesn't grow backwards. And to me, that analogy, or understanding that, was the best. Understanding that the tree has to grow forward. Like, nothing grows backwards. You don't put in the maize seed and you're like, okay, you came out 3 inches, can you go back? And then you come out differently. Like, no, growth is forward. Just like how people don't understand that change is constant. Change is literally constant. It's the constant thing that we have in life. And when you don't embrace that, or when you feel like I need to be stuck in a particular year or in a particular moment, then you've robbed yourself from ever experiencing life, because the constant thing that we have in this life is change. Everything is literally changing. And I remember when it made so much sense for me, when I got to understand and comprehend change is something constant. So you also have to be growing constantly. And you already know that. You already know that. I don't need to tell you so much about that. But I think when I'm talking to you, I think let us first address the fact that I like you. I want to give you some love. I want you to. Okay, I know you were in the transition of the old version in the new version, and you crucified the other one, but you needed her. And now you are here listening to me, and all I can tell you is I like the fact that you held on. You held on farther than I expected. It's not like I wasn't giving you whatever it was, but you held on farther than I expected. And I'm grateful. And I think there's one thing that I wanted to also talk about: gratitude. You know, gratitude turns broken pieces into blessings. And I know you've been trying to explain gratitude. And gratitude feels like a foreign language in the presence of pain. But the thing about gratitude, it honors the shreds that you have, and it changes them, and gives you the blessing. If I was to describe gratitude is not about perfection. It's about perspective. When people talk about gratitude, they're like, oh, be thankful. And some people don't really explain it. So I'm here to explain it. So, it's not about ignoring what you're missing and just like, okay, let me be grateful, let me be grateful. Gratitude shows you the brokenness, but it doesn't erase the blessing. In other words, that gratitude is strongest when you've lost it all. And it's something that if I was to describe it or illustrate it in the simplest of terms, it's like when you're creating something and you throw all the way these pieces that you feel like they're not going to make sense. Just like a tailor, they cut off the different pieces that are not going to make sense. And gratitude is the person who picks up those pieces and shows you the value. It's like a mosaic. It's a new collection. Gratitude doesn't throw them away. Gratitude picks them up, sews them together, and voila, you have a coat of many colors. You have like a unique new something. So that's what gratitude does. It's not that it erases what suffering or it tells you to just be thankful. No, it acknowledges the brokenness but doesn't erase the blessing. There are hidden treasures in these broken pieces, and that's what gratitude does. It doesn't mean that when you are grateful, you delay pain or pain is not going to happen to you. No, it means you get to see whatever you're going through with a different lens, and that is something that really, really matters. Like when you're on the journey of life, yes, when you're on a journey of life, gratitude is something that you need to really, really hold on, because it's just like an anchor when life tries to sweep you away, like left, right. It's like something that centers you, and remember that, you know what, even the smallest shift in the world brings a grateful heart back. For example, the sunlight on your skin, the sound of laughter, how it makes, the room warm. Like it's that superpower, if I would say, that whispers again and again that you are forgetting the gift. And I think the more, it's not like you just go and just say, okay, I'm grateful, but it's more of understanding what gratitude is. Gratitude is that designer that will get all those pieces and make a masterpiece out of it. So gratitude, I would say, it's something that has really helped. Gratitude, I know, but I think also the courage. Like, I think you already know this, and I know you're dying to know about the future. But before I tell you about the future, I need to acknowledge you and how far it has been. I need to acknowledge you in a way that it's going to be boring. You have outlived certain places that you used to know, which is not a bad thing. You have realized that there is something in you that the world has tried to, cover. And I've been trying to figure out, okay, what should I tell you? I've been so nervous. It's like, I know you're listening to this towards the end of the year, and you're thinking like, okay, what should I say? What should I tell you that is going to help you in the next in the next phase of your life? And I think I wouldn't be me if I don't help you. So, are you ready? Are you ready to get to know what it is that I want to tell you? Yeah, I need to take my time for this so that you really understand it. Number one, I know it's going to be very hard for you, but I'm going to make it as simple as it is. You are already enough. Stop trying to fix yourself. You are already enough. Yes, you're already enough. Yes, you're the one who follows those big dreams, and there is nothing missing in you. Everything that you need, you have. So who am I to come and I tell you, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this? Come on! You have to be willing to enter the unknown. Every time you try, I know like your mind goes back because that's a system that we have been used to, but I am excited for you because you're going to venture the unknown. And it's not that the unknown is scary and everything. No, I think I've prepped you so well so that you can enter the unknown. What is remaining right now is to enter the unknown. I don't have secret formulas for you that are going to guide you, and you're like, okay, Future May said blah 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 blah. But what Future May is trying to tell you is, yeah, you're good to go. You're ready enough. You don't need to be fixed. I know. I've been trying to talk about the new version, the update, the everything. But you're ready enough. The fact that you're listening to this, you're ready enough. Already enough to enter into the unknown. I know, like, you can be like, okay, what's the cheat code? Give me something. I wouldn't be me if that's the cheat code. Be ready for the adventure. Yeah, of course, like, it's the unknown. It wouldn't be life if it wasn't the unknown. You need to experience it. So me coming here and trying to give you bits and what, then how would it be adventurous? How would it be the future if I gave you everything? And in fact, I understand why I cannot give you anything, because it will be a crutch if I give you something. But whatever you've been doing, please continue. The only thing that you have to remember, that you're already enough. You don't need to fix yourself. Don't try to look for a formula that, okay, maybe this or maybe that. Like, no, you're already enough. The permission that you need is the beating heart you have. the validation that you need is that beating heart. Yes, of course, you deserve to be here. You are already worth it. In fact, when I talk about this version, it's not that you become something. No, it's just that you remember who you are. Being worth it, it doesn't depend on what family you come from. It doesn't depend on the friends that you have. It doesn't depend on the country that you come from. You were born already worth it. And if you can only remember that, if you can only remember that you are worth it, you don't need to fix yourself. You don't need to feel like, okay, because I was born poor, I need to fix that part of my story. We do not choose where we were born from. We don't choose that. It's already written for us that, okay, you're going to be born in Uganda. So the validation you need to achieve all these big things that go on in your mind, and every time you try to doubt, every time you try to feel like, no, maybe there's some hidden thing that I need so that I can fulfill this. No, you're already enough. You're already enough. And I know that you have had this before. I know you have gone through understanding that God created you for a purpose. And I know, like, all this, of course, God created us for a purpose to become like Christ. And the only way to be aligned, I would say, is to be filled by His knowledge. Be filled by His knowledge, you'll know His will. And I know you've been trying to understand being filled by His knowledge. You know, Paul, when he writes in Colossians, and he said, in Him all treasures and wisdom are found. I'm paraphrasing. I think that's the greatest gift I can give you, if it's a cheat code. I can't give you formulas, I can't give you what, but I would say that the more you get to know God, it's going to influence your will. You know, John Stott in Your Mind Matters, he's talking about knowledge and zeal, trying to help someone understand that your zeal has to have a backup. You cannot worship something that you don't know. And I think that is it. Like, when you think about it, you need the knowledge, and in Him all the knowledge. That when they say that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, and if I was to give you a cheat code, I would tell you the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Anything that you need to be answered is in Him. And as we're walking, as we navigate this, because I think this is something that has really tried to understand and comprehend. When you have the knowledge, it's going to influence your will. The will is your willpower. You need to have a willpower to do so many things, because you need to have the will. And when you're filled with his knowledge, he's talking about being filled with the knowledge of God, and it's going to determine the way you move on earth. I think the greatest treasure would be to live just like God intended you to live. And for you to comprehend that, you get to realize that fear cannot be wisdom. Fear cannot be the thing that you use. It runs out. Because people scare you into not being lazy. So some people are working, so then they're not called lazy. So they're coming out of fear. No, you should create out of calmness. Yes, out of calmness, out of hope. And for you to attain that, of course, you need God. And it's so interesting because when you're filled with the knowledge of God, it's going to lead to obedience. And when you're obedient, you're going to have self-control. You're going to be obedient on his word, and you're going to have the self-control. But obedience leads to self-control. You can't just be living. Like, you can see someone's like, no, I eat at this time, I eat at this time. They're living on certain principles. They're living on certain principles. And yes, I can give you different principles to live by. But I think the greatest principles to live by are the principles of God. And the only way to know the principles of God is being filled by his knowledge. And I'm not saying just go open the Bible and you're like, I need to be filled, I need to be filled. God illuminates himself to those who are willing, who are searching for him. And he promises that when you search, you will find, and when you knock, the door will be opened unto you. And he also tells you, why should you worry about tomorrow? So why do you want to get even the cheat code of tomorrow? It doesn't make sense. Yes, tomorrow has its own worries, so you have to be in the now. You have to enjoy the now. And so many times, I know you get to be thinking about tomorrow, trying to calculate what you're going to be doing. But I think it's high time to understand what they mean by the view. When they say the view is very hard, yes, it's very hard because constantly you get back into the survival mode. A mode that tells you that, you know what, everything is going. You need to grab as much as you can. But no, you're not God. Yes, I'm not saying that we ignore that. I'm saying to use your mind. Remember, John Stott said, your mind matters. Yes. Everything that you do should have a backup of something. But I have also gotten to understand that there is absolute truth. Yes, there is absolute truth. We're going to have different perspectives, but we're going to have that absolute truth. So, God created the mind for a reason. He wasn't going to bypass it. He wasn't going to use you like just a machine that is just going to put in commands. No. You need to understand and comprehend him intellectually. Your mind matters. It matters in all this. So be filled by His knowledge. Be transformed by His word, which will force your will. You will be moving with the mind of God, and that is the greatest treasure you can have. So take some time and enjoy, because it reminds you of how blessed you are. The sun over your skin. You know, we really think that it's in the big gestures. No. Gratefulness starts with the small things. In fact, everything starts small. And I hope you remember that. Every time you're trying to complicate this, you get back to the basics. You get back to the basics, just like a walk cycle. It's very, very complex. The movements, the twist of the hip, the tilt of the torso, and then the follow through. All of this is very complex for an animator when they think about it. How do you make a person walk? And I like the way people, have come up with this AI, and they're like, you see, this is a walk cycle. And I'm like, no, let me tell you about a walk cycle like an animator. Well, there is a twist in the hip, and there is a twist in the torso, because these two cannot stand straight. They're always opposing each other. Then the head is just counterbalancing. But for you to stand, for you to do anything, the torso and the pelvis are constantly opposing each other. Constantly. So there is a tilt for you to know where the weight is. And then you're going to ask me, okay, what is the weight? Well, yeah, everyone has weight on earth. I know I'm going to describe mass and all this, and then there's this gravitational pull that is always there. And if I was to tell you the wrist is just dragging and, the toes are flapping. And, when you look at it, it's just an up and down movement. But no, when you really look at it, it's a side-to-side movement. Okay, it is complex. A walk cycle is complex. And all this is happening in microseconds. The foot has to lift off the ground, then it goes in an arc, and then it hits the ground, and there is a twist, and there is a tilt in the foot also, and it is very complex to animate a walk cycle. Yes, AI can imitate the movement, but it's going to take an animator to explain it to you, because the animator's taken time to observe all these little details. That the head swings left and right, but it's not straight. There is an arc of the head swinging. So the animator is going to tell you that nothing moves in a straight line. It all has some, curves to it. So, but for the animator to see all this, they need to simplify the movement. they need to go back to the basics. And what's the basic of animation? Where we have squash and stretch. That an object needs to squash and stretch to show that it has weight. But then it's not only that, there are 12 principles to translate movement. There is a drag in everything because things are in movement. So when I don't see a drag in a movement, I'm like, oh, that's not real. So the way I look at movement is really different. But for an animator to reach that point of observation, they need to go back to the basics. And the basic is so simple. It's just a ball. It's just a ball that goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So if you can get it in just the up and down, then you have got it. And I know I'm using animation terms because I need you to get it. And that's the simplest I have. But you know what? Maybe animation was too much. Let me try to simplify it. Let us use the walk. So in animation, a walk is a controlled fall. You're catching yourself. You're going to fall, but you catch yourself, just like a toddler. I think I've used this illustration before. Just like a toddler, that they're going to be falling, and somehow they try, and then they balance. So the reason why we call it balancing, it's these three main things: the head, the torso, and the pelvis have gotten to balance. As I told you, they're always opposing each other. So if they're opposing each other, just like on the seesaw, there is a time where you need to balance that weight, and the head is that. It's there to balance these three main things on the body. So it's not that you're not falling. No, it's just that you've gotten better at balancing. So walking looks simple because you've done it so many times. It's not that life changed, the laws changed, that we no longer have gravity or something. No, it's still there, but you've gotten better. So in other words, you're having this motion, you're holding or you're catching yourself every time as you walk, but it seems automated for you. It seems so easy for you because you've done it, you're doing it. So that is all going on. That complex movement is going on, but you're making it look effortless. So every time you look at something with the big lens of, oh my God, this is too big, I want you to remember to simplify. Just simplify it. Like a walk cycle, at the end of the day, it's a ball going up and down. It's moving in different rhythms. They're just different rhythms, and everyone has a different rhythm, the way they walk. No walk cycle is the same. So for you to just sit down and just see how people walk, maybe you will get to comprehend what I'm trying to tell you. That life didn't get easy. We have just been walking for quite some time. In fact, they tell you, you know what? You need to feel alive. Take a walk. Life is enjoyed by a walk. You need to take that step. The courage to take a step is all that it takes. And I know, it's taking that step is not easy. So instead of complicating it, let us simplify it. It's that step. All you need to do is take that step. Yes, that step to the unknown. You hadn't been catching on. I've been trying to deliver something. It's a step. And, we really complicate it. But I think we should learn from the kids. They're the best teachers. In fact, I understand when they say that kids are gifts from God, because it's in plain sight. God reminds you, He gives you these cheat codes of when you're getting worried, when you're complicating everything. You meet a kid and they're having a very random thing and it's their baby. And you have to play along. You have to literally play along and say like, yeah, I can see the baby's crying, and somehow people are looking at you and it's like, you're not going to tell him that it's something different. A baby doesn't look like that. And I'm like, I think it's a reminder for us that we are not using our minds. It's a reminder that, we have played this game for a long time, and I'm like, who's going to tell her that, yeah, it's something different? Are we going to play along? You need to think. You need to use your mind. God blesses your hands. He does. But for you to comprehend it, for you to understand that, if God is going to be using you, you have to be willing. To serve. Are you ready to be a waiter? When you think about greatness, you think about I don't know what you think about, but greatness comes in overalls. It doesn't come in a suit, unfortunately. It's in overalls. You have to work. You have to be willing to serve. Yes, love your neighbor as you love yourself. But if you want to use yourself, then you don't need to be a waiter. But if you want God to use you, you have to become a waiter and be willing to serve. But you also have to be willing to take a step. It's as simple as that. It's not really complicated. I know. I don't know why as human beings we complicate the most simplified things. We always complicate something. Yet we have to simplify it. Simplify. That's all. Simplify. But you have to remember, yes, anticipation. I know I'm speaking a lot of animation language, but I think that's the only way for me to communicate to you that even the bird, it needs to push against the ground for it to fly. That your past, yes, honor it. It has brought you so far. But you can't be prisoned by it. You have to let go. Yes, you have to let go and fly. And maybe you're like, I thought I was flying. No, you haven't used those wings for quite some time. And maybe you are scared. You're like, how far can I go? I was like, yeah, let us anticipate. Let us move a little bit back before we go forward. Because I want you to fly. Fly. The sky belongs to God. So do not be afraid to fly. Yes. It has been quite some time. You have shrinked yourself and forgotten that you could fly. And it's not because, we're not going to blame anyone. We are in the now. And you have to take a leap of faith. You have to. I know it's scary. You don't have everything, but that is the beauty. You always don't have to have everything. That's not how the ride goes. The ride goes like this. You go with what you have and go and take that leap. You have to take a leap of faith. I am cheering you on. I'm like, go, 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 go. Of course, it's the unknown. That's the beauty. That's the beauty. You don't know unless you go. But what if it works out? What if it works out? You're so, like, I know you're like, okay, that, I know, but what if it works out? What if it works out? What if it's beyond what you have imagined? I think faith and fear is believing in something that is not seen. So you're going to choose. You either fear something that is not there, or you believe something that is not there. You have to. I don't know, like, I think I'll put my bets on faith, because we have learned that anything created out of fear is not wisdom, it's self-sabotage. So, are you ready? Yes. We were meant to fly. You were not born. Yes, you are not born for just. Nuh-uh. There is a reason. And the only way for us to find out is to live the life. You need to fly. We can't know. And you know, that's the paradox of growth, of like self-growth, of growth itself, that some people, they say, okay, should I just stay here because everything that is meant to be is going to happen, so I should just stay here. But then the thing is like, no, you can't just stay stagnant. You can't just stay still. You need to be moving. You need to be in movement. For you to grow, you need to be in movement. So what are you waiting for? I think I've given you an anticipation, and I'm here to tell you to take that leap of faith. Yes. Well, future things are not so complicated. We are very simple with our words. You don't hit the ground. It's going to be beyond your imagination. Yeah, of course you're going to fail. And that's the beauty. You should be proud of your scars. It shows that you've lived. Yeah, I have a cat in the future. I told you wouldn't understand these future time things. I don't know how to explain it yet. But maybe next time when I call you, I'll be able to explain it to you, that it's not the way it's displayed in the movies. It's kind of different. But I think that's the only way they can illustrate it for you to try to comprehend it. Stop complicating things. Yeah, you have to do it when your hands are shaking. Yeah. That's how it's done. Yeah, when you don't have all the resources. And then now you're in the future, so it's big. It's bigger. The things that you dreamed of, you're leaving them. Yes, then make the dream bigger. The sky is not the limit, it's just the point of view. So, wait, are you going to take a leap? I know. You have to try. Come on. I'm cheering you on. You have all the cheat codes. You do. You need to jump off and fly. I double dare you to fly. You need to take a leap of faith. But what if it works out, yo? What if it works out? What if it works out? What if it's not what you're imagining? I know, but we cannot tell. The only way for us to find out is when you fly. I know this one was personal, as I said. I'm not trying to convince you. At the same time, I want you to make this decision on your own. I know you're saying, but I think I've made it because, I'm like talking to you right now because I'm future you. But I've said, the only way for us to find out is you moving. The paradox of time. Told you I wasn't able to explain this thing, but it's high time for me to go. So I am cheering you on. Yay! You can do this. Of course. Na mutima na bidii na lo. Represent. But I think when you represent God, it's the best thing. I have so much to tell you, but at the same time, I can't tell you because I will rob the experiences from you. So, yeah, it's time to take the leap of faith. It's time to let go of this plane and we go to the next plane. A lot is waiting for you ahead. I'm excited for you. I'm so excited for you. I can't wait. I know I can't wait. And the thing about becoming who you are, you're already enough. You don't need to fix. You're already enough, remember. Told you. I don't know how to explain this paradox time thing, but I love you so much. Cheering you on. And yeah, you can do this. You can do this. I know I don't want to go. I'm out. You've been listening to Make Curable, a visual storyteller with Obulamo podcast. For free access to all May's conversations, subscribe to Make Curable YouTube channel. May and Obulamo podcast reserve all copyright protection under applicable law.